Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Conejo Oaks Baseball. Here today at Sparky Anderson Field, a rubber match of a 3-game series versus the Santa Barbara Foresters as your Conejo Oaks look to win a series. First and foremost, we want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers listening. And also, get your Oaks starting lineup for today. Leading off, Zach Schwartzberg in right field, McCabe Moyer in center, Jack Costello playing third, Chris Wright in left field, Zach Daudet at short, Brendan Durfee behind the plate, Dylan Jackson at first, Eli Paton doing the DHing today, and rounding off the lineup, Taylor Shultz playing second. Your starting pitcher today is a familiar face, the Puma, Alexander Rivas. Back for another summer with the Oaks, making his summer debut. The Foresters starting lineup today, Daniel Patterson. Leading off, playing first, Ryan Black. Back at shortstop in the 2-hole, Will Rogers, DHing. Rocco Garza Gongora, instead of the first base we've been seeing him play, he moves out to center field. Max Bellew, home run hitter yesterday, playing right. Gianni Horvat at second base, hitting sixth. Michael Lombardi at third, hitting seventh. Nathan Voss behind the plate. And rounding off the lineup in left field, PK Walsh. Patterson steps up to the plate, and we're nearly ready to go. Rivas on the mound, gets a sign he likes, comes home, and we're underway. 1-0 to Daniel Patterson. Oaks blanked in yesterday's ballgame. Josh, what are the keys to turn the offense around for the Oaks?
Well, they just got to play their game up there. Of course, they're always aggressive in the counts as they were yesterday, but they didn't work as many counts as we've been accustomed to seeing this summer. So just trying to get the starting pitcher out of the game and work as many deep counts as they can and get hittable pitches.
Patterson swings at a 2-0 pitch to Zach Daudet at short. Jackson makes a stretch, can't get there as the throw was low, and it rolls into the Foresters' dugout. And Patterson will take an extra base.
Definitely an unfortunate way to start this game for the Oaks, especially against a team like the Foresters. You don't want to gift them any outs or any runs defensively. So now Rivas is already in a jam in his first inning back with the Oaks.
Austin and Gregory also on the broadcast with us today after missing yesterday's ball game. As Ryan Black goes up the middle for a base hit. Moyer comes home. The throw is cut off, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Foresters before you can blink an eye.
I mean, you want to talk about a completely different case scenario. Alexander Rivas on the bump today. Very rarely we even saw runs come across against him last summer. I think a good 80% of his outings he allowed two runs or less, and within the first two batters he's already had a run come across. Obviously it's not an earned run because of the error from Daudet, but still unfortunate for Rivas.
And for Rivas, he's not a guy that's going to blow you away with the velocity, but does, when he's on, tend to have pinpoint control. And that's what the Oaks are going to need from Rivas, to keep the ball down in the zone and keep the ball out of the air for the Foresters. When Rivas is going right, he's going to get a majority of his outs on the ground.
Black comfortably got him leaning, just in there. Good pickoff move by Rivas. Black leaning a little bit. We'll see if he cuts down that lead just a tad. 1-1 to Rogers. Black's on the move, and Rogers fouls it off. 1-2 the count. That ball caromed all the way to the wall just left of the foul pole. Cody Carson being the good Samaritan, running all the way down, retrieving the baseball. 1-2. Another check over at Black at first, nothing doing.
An advantage for Rivas, of course, today's first day, not even his first game, but his first day with the Oaks this summer, and is that he gets to pitch to a catcher that he's comfortable with in Brendan Durfee. Of course, pitched together last summer as Rivas gets the strikeout, and former collegiate teammates before Rivas made the big jump from D3 to D1 this past year, and I'm sure a large part of that was because of his success with the Oaks last summer. He's over there at UC Riverside.
1 out for the center fielder, Rocco Garza Gongora. Black's on the move. Fly ball into shallow left field. Chris Wright is on the move. He'll get under it. And Black has to retreat to first.
And there we just continue to see, obviously, the great range out in left field for Chris Wright. We saw, obviously, the first game of the season against the Coastal Dodgers. Chris Wright made that ridiculous diving catch, covering quite a bit of ground there, and he probably covered a good 50-plus feet to make that running grab, and makes a nice catch route number 2 for Rivas.
And that'll bring up Max Bellew. Bellew a homer in yesterday's ball game, and the Foresters' 5-0 win over the Oaks. Rivas misses outside again. It's 2-0.
And although the velocity isn't blowing you away, it's still a good 3-4 miles an hour harder than what we saw Rivas last summer.
Bellew rolls over to first. Jackson will take it to the bag himself to retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit and 1 error. And the Foresters out to a quick 1-0 lead. Back for the bottom of the first. Starting pitcher for the Foresters is Samuel Garwal. Long, lanky lefty out of Northwestern University by way of sunny San Diego, California. Leading off for the Oaks, becoming a regular leadoff man in the absence of Austin Carrillo, Zach Schwartzberg. Schwartzberg having a nice start to his summer. Becoming a reliable on-base man for the Oaks. First pitch from Gerwal on the outside corner for strike number 1.
Yep.
90 miles an hour on the gun.
You have to wonder, and Bennett Markinson was able to give some sort of scouting report to the Oaks as he was a catcher for Gerwal over at Northwestern. Not sure how much he caught him directly, but I'm sure he saw his stuff in action often.
Schwartzberg swings and misses at the second pitch, and he's in an 0-2 hole. The 0-2 misses low.
Gerwal with pretty decent velocity out of the gate, sitting at 91 on the first couple of fastballs he's thrown.
1-2, breaking ball misses low and inside. Count evens up at 2.
Schwartzberg showing what he does in this at-bat, swinging at the first pitch, aggressive as he likes to be, but also now working the count.
2-2, Schwartzberg battling, fouls it off. McCabe Moyer on deck.
That's pretty much been the identity of the Oaks this summer, swinging early in the count, but then also being patient and working the count once it gets to 2 strikes.
Another 2-2. Misses high, and the count runs full. Gerwal's 3-2. Misses high, and it's a leadoff walk for the Oaks. After getting in an 0-2 hole, Schwartzberg showing how good of a hitter he is, working the count full and earning a walk. And already early traffic for the Oaks.
And that's exactly what this team is built on, exactly what we talked about pregame. Schwartzberg gets behind in the count 1-2, but fouls off some pitches and then works the walk.
Gerwal pulls that fastball. In the dirt, 1-0 to Moyer. Not a big lead for Schwartzberg over at first, just a few steps. Takes one more. Gerwal comes home, and Moyer fouls it off out of play.
Since joining the Oaks, Moyer has seen himself in the top, towards the top of the lineup, and looking to pick up that first extra base hit.
Look over at Schwartzberg and decides to throw over. Schwartzberg in there safely. Couple of chirps out of the Oaks dugout. 1-1. Moyer skies it into left field. Running out of play. It stays in play, but not enough time for PK Walsh to get under it. 1-2.
Moyer finds himself in a 2-strike hole just like Schwartzberg. But Schwartzberg was able to foul off some pitches and work a walk. See if Moyer adopts that same mentality of just fighting off everything to stay alive.
Another half-hearted check over at first. Gerwal gets his sign. Comes home with a 1-2. Misses upstairs. So far, we've seen Gerwal miss up with the fastball. Two-two to McCabe Moyer. Lined up the middle and into the gap. Schwartzberg on his way to third. Moyer taking a big turn, coming in as second, and he's in there safely. A double for Mac Moyer, and it's second and third. Nobody out. Oaks in business.
Great piece of base running there from Mac Moyer. He saw that both the second baseman and the shortstop went out there to be the cutoff man, nobody covering second base, so he took that quick turn and headed to the second, and now gives Jack Costello second and third, nobody out rather than the runners on the corner.
Good to mention that. I'm sure Coach Bill Pintard wouldn't be happy with the lack of fundamentals there. Two guys in the middle infield going out to be the cutoff man.
First RBI opportunity as a member of the Oaks for Jack Costello.
Takes a first pitch ball.
If I remember correctly, he actually came up with the bases loaded and 2 outs yesterday. The lone inning that the Oaks had something going. Costello flew out.
Comes up hacking on the 1-0, fouls it back.
With the infield back for the Foresters, Costello does not have to do too much to get this run in from third. Pretty much anything on the ground and then anything in the air that's deep enough to score a run will do the job.
Only infielder playing on the grass is the first baseman Patterson. The 1-1 grounded sharply to the third baseman Lombardi. Looks Schwartzberg back, throws over to first to record the first out.
Literally one of 2 spots on the infield that Costello couldn't hit it. He hit that one hard, but right at third baseman.
Chris Wright, the cleanup man today for the Oaks. Lefty-lefty matchup. Haven't seen too many lefty-lefty opportunities for Chris Wright this summer.
He's certainly earned his way to keep himself on the starting lineup.
First pitch to Wright. Check swing.
That'll work.
And that'll get a run in. And Chris Wright is safe. Very weird baseball play there, but it will go down as a line drive in the books. An infield single for Chris Wright to get the Oaks on the board and tie this ball game in the first. Very weird play. The check swing had just enough power to get past the pitcher Gerwal, and Gerwal being a lefty, very awkward, him having to try to backhand that ball. You wonder maybe if he's a righty, does he smother it? Who knows? But it was in such a bad spot that the second baseman Horvat had no chance. And it's a 1-1 ball game. Zach Daudet up now. Runners on the corners with 1 out.
I'm sure if you ask Chris Wright there, he's going to say, that's exactly what I meant to do. That's how we drew it up.
Daudet pops one foul. Patterson ranging, runs out of room, and it's out of play.
Daudet's looking to drive something in the outfield in this situation, try to avoid the double play ball. He's got the runners in the corners here, and he'll try to look for something up in the zone from Gerwal.
The 1-1 breaking ball stays up. Not a place you want to miss with a breaking ball. Certainly not with a hitter like Daudet up there.
And that's the pitches that Zach will be looking for. If that's down just a tad, he's ripping that.
2-1, swung on and missed. Gerwal going upstairs with the velocity, gets a swing and miss, and the count runs even at 2.
Zach's eyes lit up on that pitch, I'm sure, but with the velocity of the fastball, just blew by him.
2-2, Wright's on the move. And Daudet lines one into the left center field gap. Drifting over is Garza Gongora. He'll make the catch, but that's well deep enough to score Moyer. And that's a sac fly for Zach Daudet and a 2-1 lead for the Conejo Oaks.
Really good piece of hitting there from Zach Daudet, especially once he got himself on a 2-strike count. Didn't try to do too much, got a pitch up in the zone and just drove it out to center field for the sacrifice fly.
Complete opposite script to start the game in both games against the Foresters. Took the Oaks a while to come through with the runners in scoring position in the first game of the series and did absolutely nothing in yesterday's ball game. Brendan Durfee at the plate. Another half-hearted check at the runner at first. The 0-1.
Good spot.
A well-placed pitch, and Durfee's in an 0-2 hole.
0-2 is a count that Durfee's not too uncomfortable in. He only struck out 11 times in this Callouse nearly 50-game season.
Just misses.
And if I'm not mistaken, Josh, last I checked this CCL stat line and CCL play, I believe Brendan Durfee's hit the strikeout this summer.
Chris Wright's on the move, and the ball gets away from Nathan Voss. Shortstop Brian Black doing a good job of fooling Chris Wright into thinking that the throw was coming in.
Chris Wright can really fly.
Because of Wright's speed, Voss popped up, came up throwing, the ball was just in the dirt. 2-2 to Durfee. Gearwall gets his sign, comes home. Rolled over to second. Horvat's there. Throw over to first to complete the inning. 2 runs for the Conejo Oaks, answering the Foresters 1 in the top of the first. At the end of 1, 2-1 Oaks. Top 2, 2-1 Oaks. Leading off for the Foresters, Gianni Horvat, the second baseman. Ooh, first pitch from Rivas. Generous on the outside corner. Thought it was well low and well outside. Same spot.
The track man agreed with you, Sammy.
Umpire cannot give that pitch 2 times in a row. The 1-1.
Ooh.
Runs in and hits Horvat. Pitch absolutely got away from Rivas there. And for the 3rd consecutive half inning, the leadoff man is on. That'll bring up Michael Lombardi, 3rd baseman for the Foresters.
Rivas is going to get back to his usual self, trying to keep the ball down in the zone, work off that changeup that he showcases there. Changeup is probably Rivas' best pitch. Certainly his most effective.
Horvat, lead off of first. He's moving. Throw by Durfee. Up the line and high. And Horvat steals the base successfully.
Yeah, Horvat had that base stolen easily. Nothing Durfee could really do on that, even if it was a perfect throw. But Rivas isn't the quickest to home plate, and really good jump by Gianni to get into second.
One misses low.
The exact same situation that Rivas found himself in the first with the runner on second, nobody out.
Lombardi lines one in the left field. Wright drifts back to record the out. Nathan Voss now at the dish for the Foresters. Today's catcher. Voss went 0 for 4 in Friday's contest. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Change up from Rivas.
He's really got that thing working today.
Horvat's on the move. Durfee's throw. Better than the last one, but not in time nonetheless. And it's another stolen base for Gianni Horvat.
Once again, really nothing Durfee could do there. He did come up, make an almost perfect throw, but the jump from Horvat was too strong.
The infield stays back, and it's a golden opportunity for the Foresters to tie this ball game. And Voss swings and misses again, 1-2. Strikeout would be key for Rivas, as Rivas does generate a lot of weak contact, so any ground ball would most likely score Horvat from third. Foul ball, and we'll do the 1-2 over again.
Rivas doesn't need to throw him a strike here. Ahead in the count 1-2.
The 1-2 is lined up the middle for a base hit. Horvat scores easily, and it's a 2-2 ball game.
He tried to freeze him with the fastball, but got too much of the plate and too hittable of a location. So Voss is able to pick up an RBI knock to tie up the ball game.
PK Walsh now for the Foresters. He's ahead of the count 2-0. Walsh fouls one back, 2-1. Did not see Walsh in yesterday's ball game, but on Friday he went 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Fouls off another, and the count evens up at 2.
So we found out that the P in PK stands for Patrick, but we couldn't find out what the K was, so we've just decided that his name is Patrick, but with a capital K.
Yeah, what do you mean we didn't?
Beautiful.
We didn't find out. Sammy said that right away.
2-2.
Yeah, exactly.
Rolled over to third, foul.
Sammy's known the whole time what the K stands for.
I would like to think that, but I don't know if that's the case. We've done extensive research on this, still to no avail. Another 2-2. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the day for Alexander Rivas. And the lineup turns over for Daniel Patterson.
Both of Rivas' strikeouts today have come via the changeup. Definitely working for him today.
First pitch from Rivas misses up and away. Voss, no real lead to speak of. And that'll be another base hit for the Foresters. Big turn from Voss, but he thinks better and goes back to second. It's first and second with 2 out for Black, Ryan Black. Just last inning, Black opened up the scoring in today's ballgame with an RBI single. Dylan Jackson playing fairly deep. Patterson will get a massive lead at first. Voss not a huge lead at second. Rivas comes home. Ball's in the dirt, smothered by Durfee. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. 1-1. Not sure if Daudet's holding on the runner intently or if this is just a defense that the Oaks are playing. Playing Black to pull. The entire left side of the infield is virtually open. 1-1. Rolled over to third. Jackson deep in the hole. Rivas covering the bag at first to retire this side. Tie ball game. Foresters get one across after 2 hits. And we'll be back for the bottom of the second. Dylan Jackson leading off the second for the Oaks.
Oh.
Gets a high strike call. 0-1. Gerwal comes home with an 0-1. Just about the same spot. 0-2 to Dylan Jackson.
The last couple of games between these two teams, there has been no more than 5 runs scored in either of those two contests, but already 4 runs through 3 frames in this one.
And it's a 3-pitch strikeout to open up the bottom of the second.
Now batting, DH number 20, Eli Paton.
That'll bring up the designated hitter, Eli Paton. Peyton showing bunt. And it's fouled back out of play.
Eli definitely not one of those guys I was expecting to see score down a bunt for a hit today. Eli also drove in what ended up being the game-winning run back on Friday.
0-1, swung on a miss, strike 2.
Foresters are playing a bit of a shift on him, which is why Peyton decided to lay down that bunt.
Definitely doesn't have a bunter's body. 0-2. On the outside corner, strike 3, and it's 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts for Samuel Gerwal.
Now batting, number 2, the second baseman, Taylor Schultz.
Taylor Schultz trying to extend the inning for the Oaks. Trying to get that lined up, turned over. First pitch. In there. 7 out of 9.
Oh boy.
8 out of 9. Gerwal 1 pitch away from an immaculate inning.
Oh no.
Oh, oh my
Trackman
goodness.
said it was
Just
in.
mi-
Trackman
just
said it was
missed
in.
inside, but it was a similar pitch to the second strike call.
Foresters
And the Oaks avoid the immaculate inning.
Foresters dugout was not happy.
The 1-2. Swung on and missed. So Gerwal strikes out the side, just misses an immaculate inning by 1 pitch. But at the end of 2, we got a tied ball game. We're back for the top of the third after the Oaks went down in order. Will Rogers leading off for the Foresters. Struck out swinging. Back in the first inning. Rivas still out there for the Oaks. Changeup misses low, and Rogers ahead of the count 2-0. Fouled back.
The Oaks have been able to keep Rogers quiet for the most part this weekend. We're going to credit that to Cam.
Hard hit baseball over to the second baseman, Schultz. That'll retire Rogers for out number 1.
Now batting, center fielder, number 10.
Goated analytics man Cameron Deck gave the Oaks a scouting report on Will Rogers before the weekend, and so far he hasn't been able to make very many big contributions. So if any scouts are out there, pick up the phone, call Cameron Deck.
Well,
Any
he's doing.
executives
Yeah,
looking for a
executives
scout.
Looking for a scout, exactly.
The man knows ball.
and no scout wants to give him a call.
I mean, if you like sidearm relievers who would top out at 70 miles an hour,
Any adult leagues out there looking for a reliever, Cam's your guy. 0-1 from Rivas. Garza Gongoro went around, and he's in an 0-2 hole.
and we've talked about how impressive the versatility is of the Oaks, but Garza Congora playing at first base in yesterday's contest and now starting out there in center today. It's a very big difference, those two positions. It's impressive that he's able to play both on consecutive days.
The 0-2
yeah.
on the outside corner for strike 3. We saw it similarly with Ryan Black playing shortstop today and on Friday, but yesterday he was featured in left field.
And that moves Daniel Patterson, who was yesterday starting shortstop, over to first base. So they got a lot of guys who can play different spots.
I believe the Foresters are waiting for a couple more players to come in. Comebacker to Alexander Rivas at first, takes a long jog and ends up underhand tossing to Dylan Jackson at first, and that'll retire the side.
There's the Gold Glove.
Ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't be doing this broadcast without help from our sponsors. The bottom of the third inning is brought to you by Amateur Baseball Development Group, founded by Mike Sosha, Randy Riley, Kevin Muno, and Amy Ashford. We also have to give thanks to California Collegiate League and Conejo Oaks sponsor Richardson Sports, the official hat sponsor of both the CCL and the Conejo Oaks. And with that, the bottom of the third is led off by Zach Schwartzberg. Walked and came around to score in the first. Fouls off the first pitch foul, goes after the second pitch, and comes up empty.
Action now down in the Oaks bullpen as Cole Fisher begins to loosen out there. See if that means he's coming in the fourth or what. Oh,
Not
A
sure.
little chin music there from Gerwal.
Not sure how long it's been since the last time Rivas pitched, but I'm sure it's been quite some time if he's done after just 3 innings.
The 1-2 to Schwartzberg. Swung on and missed. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Gerwal after recording none in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up McCabe Moyer. Moyer, another player on this Oaks roster that's the son of a big leaguer, along with Scott Radinsky, whose father is Scott Radinsky. McCabe Moyer is the son of legendary, longtime pitcher in the big leagues, Jamie Moyer.
Not sure if anybody pitched more seasons than Jamie Moyer did. Maybe Nolan Ryan, but
Maybe Nolan Ryan. There's got to be about 30 guys that started like in the 1880s or something as well.
yeah, in the modern era.
2-1 now to McCabe Moyer. Ball in there at the knees. 2-2 now the count. Moyer trying to break this streak of 4 consecutive strikeouts by Gerwal. And does so by lifting a ball into left field. Just a few steps back for the left fielder, P.K. Walsh. 2 out.
Just to go back to that Jamie Moyer stat, Nolan Ryan pitched for 27 innings. Sorry, 27
innings.
seasons.
Yeah,
That's it?
I think.
And Tommy John through 26 seasons, and Jamie Moyer 25 seasons in the big leagues.
Wow.
With 8 different franchises, including the Dodgers.
It's part of the 2008 World Series Phillies team as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't believe you are. Sammy's never been wrong in his life.
He was on the Rockies, right?
I think so.
So it's just the
Probably.
first team I think that comes to mind for him for some
Really?
reason.
First team that comes to mind for me is the Mariners. 2-0 to Jack Costello.
I think he pitched for the Rockies in the tail end of his career.
Got confused a little bit as to who was at the plate. Dylan Jackson wears number 10. Costello wears number 14, but wearing a helmet that has the number 10 on it. 2-1. Misses upstairs, ball 3.
A dangerous count to be in against a hitter like Costello. He'll look to be aggressive.
That pitch runs inside, and it's a walk for Jack Costello to extend the inning for Chris Wright. An RBI single to get the Oaks on the scoreboard back in the first for Wright. Wright ready to go. Costello, a humble lead, still being checked on by Garwell. Right as he usually does, chokes up on the bat, looks at a first pitch ball well above his eyes.
Chris Wright's an aggressive hitter. Likes to swing early in the count.
He's in a hitter's count now, 2-0.
Can also get on base in multiple ways. A little check swing single, right past the mound, or does in the style with a grand salami like he did a few games ago.
Another check over at first. Not the best pickoff move from Garwell. The 2-0 lined into the Forester's dugout. Careful down there, boys.
Holy cow.
Some very quick reflexes as the ball was coming for someone's head.
Oh my
in the
goodness.
Forester's dugout. Thank God he was able to get his head down. That would not have been good. 2-1.
9 off the bat.
Stands up and he's shaking it off. Maybe he saw the light, flash before his eyes. 2-2 to right. Fouled out of play.
Oh.
And it gets into the stands.
Jeez.
Very rare we see that. Nobody making a play, though.
Poor read over there by the Oaks faithful.
Nobody taking charge in the Oaks bleachers. Another 2-2 to Chris Wright. In the dirt, and the count runs full. Costello will get a head start as there's 2 outs in the inning. Any ball in the gap will most likely score him.
Not even holding him on first base.
And it's another walk for Chris Wright. 2 straight walks given by Samuel Garwell after retiring 6 straight batters. 7 straight batters, actually. It'll bring up Zach Daudet with an RBI opportunity. Zach back in the first, got a sacrifice fly to tie up the ball, to take the lead for the Oaks. That made the score 2-1. Of course, the Foresters came back in the top of the second off of the RBI single from Nathan Voss. A long pitching visit at the mound. Wonder why the umpire hasn't chosen to break it up. He's going to now.
Certainly an extended conversation. The umpire went out there, but he's not stopping him.
Just sort of eavesdropping on the conversation.
And they're still out there talking, just the pitcher and catcher. Not sure if they're trying to get on the same page as far as signs go, but didn't think it would take that long.
Everyone back at their stations, and we're ready to resume this game of baseball. In case you forgot, Zach Daudet at the dish. First pitch, in there, strike 1. One is Zach Daudet. In there, strike 2, 0-2 hole.
Zach has got to shorten up right now. Got 2 men on and 2 outs. Doesn't want to strike out in this situation.
The 0-2 misses upstairs. 1-2. Costello at second, Wright at first, Daudet at the plate. The 1-2,
Stay fair.
line foul. Just wide of the bag at third, and we'll do it again. A big carom as the game may have to be stopped as that ball is right on the left field line. Mike Stanford going out to get it. No pause necessary. He's there with plenty of time. Another 1-2. Inside. Count evens up at 2. Garwal at the mound. Daudet at the plate. The deuces are wild, just about as wild as they can get. 2-2, 2 out, 2 on in a 2-2 ball game. The pitch. Fouled off. And we'll do it again.
Zach's done a nice job with 2 strikes after falling behind 0-2. He's fouled off a couple of pitches, taken some close ones as well. We'll look to keep winning pitches.
Another 2-2. Daudet lines it well foul. It'll bounce out of play. And we'll do it again.
Of course, Zach doing a great job of staying alive right now, but that was probably a pitch that he would like back. That breaking ball stayed up just a little bit more than Garwal would have liked.
Daudet skies one into center field. Garza Gongora gets under it, and that'll retire the side. At the end of 3, it's a 2-2 ball game. We're back for the top of the 4th. Alexander Rivas' day is done. Just 3 innings. What is his first time out there? Book is closed on him. 3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs on 3 hits and 3 strikeouts.
All 3 strikeouts coming with his changeup. Good to see that that's working this summer already.
Gianni Horvat will be the first man to greet the new pitcher for the Conejo Oaks, Cole Fisher. Fisher's 1-0 is fouled off of Horvat. 1-1. Second appearance of the summer for Cole Fisher. Very conventional pitching stance and windup from Fisher. The breaking ball shot foul. And for about the third or fourth time today, big carom from a foul ball. This time play will have to be stopped as it gets well into the field of play. Chris Wright having to go over and throw the ball back into foul territory. Play resumes. 1-2 count. Another breaking ball. Good pitch from Cole Fisher. Gets his first strikeout of the day.
Fisher and Jackson Jordan really good at dealing that frisbee-like slider.
First pitch to Michael Lombardi is in there. Strike one. 1-1 now. Comebacker gets past Fisher, but Schultz is there to record the out. Fisher throwing his glove at that. I'm not sure if that got a piece of his glove. Boys, what do we think? Did that get a piece of his glove there?
I don't think it did.
Austin, never paying attention.
No, I don't think it did.
It'll go down as a 4-3 putout.
Oh, that got a piece of
That got a piece of Nathan Voss. Just grazed the elbow.
That was more like a matrix situation for Fisher out there on the mound.
The inning is extended for the Foresters left fielder P.K. Walsh. Takes a first pitch strike from Fisher. 91 miles an hour, according to the radar gun.
Ooh, what a block.
One and one to Walsh. Comes home, and Walsh comes up empty. 1-2. Fisher looking to mow down P.K. Walsh. The 1-2, just upstairs. 2-2.
Durfee lets him know that it was a very good spot. It's right where he wanted it.
Check over of Voss at first. 2-2.
Oh, no.
Breaking ball. It's going to be trouble. Costello not in time. And it's an infield single to extend the inning for P.K. Walsh. Patterson comes up in an RBI situation. Patterson 1 for 2. Reached on an error back in the first, came around to score. And in the second inning, got a single. Nothing you can really do there if you're Fisher. Generated very weak contact. Costello playing at a regular depth really had no chance getting Walsh. Walsh plus speed.
Costello did everything he could, did everything right on that play. Just an impossible play to make.
I think the only chance he had would have been a barehanded play, but That's a lot to ask for, especially when he had to come in that much. He had to come in about 20 or 30 feet. 1-1 to Patterson. Two one. Partly cloudy day here in Thousand Oaks, California. Nice weather. 2-1. Popped up. Schultz can't find it. Nobody can find it. Daudet will not be able to get there, and it's a tough break for the Oaks. I had trouble finding that baseball too. I couldn't see it up in the clouds, and it's a tough break for the Oaks. Forsters take a 3-2 lead, and a very good hitter up at the plate, Ryan Black, with 2 runners in scoring position.
Looked like originally it was Schultz who called that ball, but then he lost it and everyone else was looking towards each other, expecting someone else to make the play. It was Daudet who made the last-ditch effort to lay out for the ball, but he couldn't get there.
First pitch strike in there to Ryan Black. Fisher, after really dominating the first 2 hitters, has about the nastiest luck you'll ever see for a pitcher. The hit by pitch on Voss that just grazed the elbow pad. The nubber off the end of the bat by P.K. Walsh that nobody was able to make a play on, and that pop up that was lost in the sun. And it's still an earned run. Brutal. 1-1 to Black. Misses outside. 2-1. These are the situations that really test a pitcher's composure. Absolutely nothing going for Cole Fisher.
Yeah, these are the kind of spots, Sammy, where young pitchers sometimes tend to unravel as more and more starts to go wrong for them after, there'll be a couple bloop singles and then a big extra base hit to score the next 2. So for Fisher, you just got to stay settled in. He's looked really good today. Just a bit of bad luck. Keep doing what he's doing.
Two to Ryan Black. Time is called at the plate. Fisher taking too long for Ryan Black's liking. Again, deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Fisher gets his sign, comes home. An attempt at a backdoor breaking ball, stays well outside, and the count runs full. First base is open. Will Rogers at deck. Will Rogers on deck. He's been kept in check this whole series, but you never want to test the guy with the bases loaded, as that ball goes off of Fisher at first.
Yeah.
On the mound, Schultz is there, and after some rotten luck, Cole Fisher able to get a break there. The end of 3.5, 3-2 Forsters. We are back here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-2 ball game. Brendan Durfee leading off for the Oaks. Another ball into the dugout, right? Same spot. Foresters really got to be on their toes this ball game. Samuel Garewal still out there for the Foresters. The 0-1 misses low. Durfee grounded out to second base in the first inning. One pitch, and Durfee comes up empty there. Foul tip into the catcher's glove. I guess he didn't come up empty. Got
Just a piece of
the
it.
tiniest piece you could. 1-2. Swung on and missed. It's the 5th strikeout of the day for Garewal. Of course, in the second inning, just missed out on an immaculate inning by 1 pitch. Struck out Jackson, Payton, and Schultz.
See a quick change that Garewal made clearly between the first and the second. Has struggled a little bit in the first, and since then, limited contact, lots of strikeouts.
He's really taken control of this ball game. Grabbed it by the scruff and not willing to give in. 1-0 to Jackson, 2-0. There's some action down in the Foresters bullpen.
Yeah,
Me personally, I cannot see that far.
he's been throwing for a while. I wonder if the next batter, Eli Paton, as he's the lefty, will be the last one that Garewal faces.
Jackson skies one on the infield into foul territory. Voss is there
That was
for out number 2.
so calmly handled by Voss. The way he said, "I got it," everyone knew he was getting it. He was so confident catching that pop up.
Number 20, the designated hitter,
It looks like
Eli
number
Paton.
27 down in the bullpen for the Foresters, Robert Krantz, Oklahoma State.
I would agree with that assessment, Josh.
First pitch to Payton misses. Another big pitcher on this Forester staff. 6'3" in the pen. 6'4" on the mound. The shortest listed pitcher on the roster for the Foresters, and I say shortest, but 6 foot even.
What?
Wow.
Wow. I couldn't interview any of their pitchers.
Peyton skies one in the center field. Garza Gongora is there to retire the side, and after Garewal struggles through the first inning, allows only 2 base runners in 3 innings after. At the end of 4, Foresters still lead 3-2. We're back for the top of the 5th inning. Will Rogers leading off for the Foresters. Cole Fisher still on the mound. Gets a first pitch called strike.
Also, just wanted to make a quick apology to Christina. Sorry, we will not be getting another Sammy Dizzy bat race. He's still recovering from yesterday's.
Brutal. 1-2 to Rogers.
Just not another one today.
Another thing I have to say, correction to be made. Alexander Rivas, only 1 earned run today. Not the 2 I mentioned before. 1-2. Swung on and missed. And as the scouting report said, maybe a trouble with the curve. That'll bring up the center fielder, Rocco Garza-Gongora. Blooper off the end of the bat. It'll land in front of Chris Wright. And we have still yet to see a hard hit baseball surrendered by Cole Fisher.
The hardest hit ball off Fisher was
The one that went off of
his
him.
foot, yeah.
Gongora lead off at first. Fisher comes home to Max Bellew for strike 1. Garza-Gongora had the oven mitt in his hand. Now he puts it on the left hand. I don't think I've ever seen someone put it on the left hand. I usually see it on the right hand, as that's the lead hand sliding head first. Must have a different method of sliding. As Bellew's in an 0-2 hole.
It also could be a situation where he's broken that left hand before, so he wants to protect
Possibly.
it.
Also, as he dove back to first on the pickoff attempt, he went right hand first, so making less and less sense to me as time goes on. See if we see anything else on it.
When I got my first sliding guard, I used it on my left hand because I just got it after I had broken my hand.
Ball trickled all the way down from the Foresters bullpen. 1-2. Breaking ball misses away.
In college baseball news, the Virginia Cavaliers have been eliminated from the College World Series as they lose to the Horned Frogs of TCU, who advance.
2-2 to Bellew, runs inside. And the count is full. More sports news. The UEFA Nations League final has gone to penalties. Croatia versus Spain. Luka Modric may be getting that first international trophy.
Spurs legend.
Just got a notification on my phone that is now 2-1 penalties. Spain to take their second.
Just got the notification.
Just got the notification. Ball rolled over to Schultz. He goes to Daudet for 1.
Got him.
On the first, double play. And that'll retire the side halfway home here at Sparky Anderson Field. 3-2. Oaks looking to tie this game up. back, bottom 5. Taylor Schultz leading off for the Oaks in the bottom half of the 5th inning. New pitcher for the Foresters as Schultz goes into an 0-2 hold. It is number 27. Just had it. I just had it. I just had it. Where's it at? Robert Kranz. My word. Embarrassing. Not the swing myself. Don't want anyone to get the wrong ideas here as Schultz comes up empty on that 3rd strike. Tough timing there by me. Zach Schwartzberg now up for the Oaks. Time called at the plate. Schwartzberg wanting to reset. Kranz out of Oklahoma State, as Josh mentioned. 6'3". Breaking ball in there. 1-1. 1-1 to Schwartzberg. Another breaking ball in there. And Schwartzberg comes up empty. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts. Friends. Dude, they were all out there. McCabe Moyer comes up empty on the first pitch, 0-1. Moyer shoots the ball the other way, but it'll hang up for PK Walsh. Perfect inning of work for Robert Kranz, and at the end of 5, it's a 3-2 ball game. We are back, top of the 6th.
We did get the notification that the Nations League final has come to an end. Spain edging out Croatia.
Tough. Very tough. It's the first time that Croatia has lost after with a game going to extra time, and I think, my word, it has to be over 5 years.
Wow. Well, they had some crazy wins in the World Cup.
Every time it went
Yeah.
to extra time, they won.
Yep.
And this World Cup, this past World Cup as well. 1-1 from Fisher.
This was the last chance for the veterans of Croatia to win a trophy.
As Horvat lines one over to the third baseman, Jack Costello, for out number 1.
Third baseman, number 17, Michael Lombardi.
Thank you. That'll bring up Michael Lombardi. Looks at a first pitch strike from Cole Fisher. The 0-1's in the dirt. 1-1.
Fisher's looking to just keep the Foresters and keep the Oaks in this ball game, as they haven't scored since the first inning.
Big swing and a miss from Lombardi there. 1-2.
Fisher and Rivas really a good job of allowing their teammates to stay in this game, but the Oaks unable to get a hit or a run since the first.
2-2 now. And we've seen over the weekend the Oaks really having trouble against this Foresters pitching staff. Of course, it's one of the best in the CCL. Fisher gets another strikeout. His second of his outing.
Now batting catcher, number 23.
I'm sorry, his third. Right, he came into the. He entered the ball game in the fourth. Ball just misses, nicking the inside corner.
Fisher's done a really nice job of throwing the fastball and the slider, mixing it up, and
Another liner to the third baseman, Jack Costello, for the second time this inning to retire the side. At the end of 5.5, the score remains 3-2 in favor of the Santa Barbara Foresters. Jack Costello leading off the bottom of the 6th. And with the bottom of the 6, you know what that means. Cam's corner.
How we doing, gentlemen?
Pretty good.
Hopefully now that you're on the broadcast, the Oaks
yeah,
will
I was about to
start
say,
scoring some runs.
due for a rally.
We are about to settle a scientific experiment here.
Austin's career may be on the line.
Uh-oh.
As that pitch runs inside on Costello. 2-1. As a ball runs all the way from the bullpen.
Where is bullpen catcher Ryan today? Ah,
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
That takes priority.
congratulations.
Congratulations, X. If you're watching on your phone at graduation, congrats.
2-2 to Costello.
Mm-hmm.
Popped up,
Uh-oh.
Austin,
drifting
let's see.
back, running. Voss has room, makes the play. Ball looked like it was getting out of play, but the wind brought it back in. Just enough for Voss, and Steve Voss again, very sound defensively. To record the first out of the inning, that'll bring up Chris Wright. Cam, anything that you can tell us about the pitchers today?
They have been very solid, Sammy, locating all their off-speed very well. Fastballs, low 90s. The Oaks hitters seem to be having trouble catching up to those low 90s fastballs.
As far as spin rate goes, anything catching your attention?
Yes, Robert Kranz, who's on the mound right now, his spin rate on his slider, almost 3,000.
Whoa.
And just for everyone at home, what is the MLB average for a slider?
That's a good question.
Oh
I knew it last year, but I recently have forgotten about it. So I'm going to have to do my research again.
Chris Wright comes up empty on a 2-1 fastball. 2-0 fastball, I should say.
Spin rate on his fastball, 2,300. That
That's
I do know is good.
Yeah.
2,400 there.
That one catches the outside corner. I think the MLB average for spin rate on a fastball is 2,200,
Yeah.
I think. 2-2 to right. Another fastball
Whoa.
and another swing and miss.
That one was up to 93.
Kranz is really dominating here.
Zach Daudet looking to extend the inning for the Oaks. Looks at a first pitch ball. Apologies if we take a couple breaks. It's just a cough button. We're having some nasal difficulties up here. Backhanded play by the third baseman Lombardi, throws across the diamond. The throw picked up Patterson, but he was able to get it back down in time to retire the side. At the end of 6, still 3-2. We are back. Top of the 7th. New pitcher out there for the Oaks is Avery Tao. First batter he's facing is PK Walsh as he hits him. Not the start you're looking for. I'm not sure if that got PK Walsh. Coach Dave Solis out to get some clarification.
To be honest, I did not think it got him, but also, we're up here. It's very difficult to tell. Home plate umpire, a great view, and he didn't hesitate. Immediately said that it hit him. So not much that Coach Solis can do.
Of course, you as a team, you love it when your 9-hole hitter gets on base. You'll take him getting on any way you can, as the bunt attempt from Patterson is foul. Second time today, PK Walsh has reached safely. Got a single back in the 4th inning. Back to Patterson. He is 2 for 3 today. Last time up, back in the 4th, it's listed in the books as an RBI double. But of course, that was the play, the high pop-up that Taylor Schultz could not find, and neither could anyone on the Oaks. It fell for a double that scored a run. One and 2 the count now.
This is the first time this summer that we're getting to see Avery Tao out there on the mound. He just recently joined the team for this weekend. Another left-hander that can be slotted into the Oaks bullpen. See what he's made of today in a big spot against a solid lineup.
Gets Patterson looking on the inside corner.
Sometimes with new pitchers or pitchers that you're unfamiliar with, the coaches will throw them in some low leverage spots, you know, some blowouts or earlier in the game. But for Tao, he's coming in to face the top of one of the most dangerous lineups in the CCL in a 1-run ball game late.
First pitch to Ryan Black, misses low. Black 1 for 3 today.
Oh.
High strike call, 1-1. Walsh takes his lead at first. The pitch is home, in there, strike 2.
Nice breaker right there.
Look to replicate that with 2 strikes. Maybe started a little more down, try to get a chase as opposed to dropping it in there for a strike.
The 1-2.
Good spot.
Fouled out of play. Tao shakes a couple signs off, comes home. Walsh is on the move. Jackson bodies up to play. He'll go to the bag himself, possibly saving a double play as Walsh was in motion.
Of course, the pretty routine play over there for Jackson, but he gets down on both knees to body up that baseball to make sure there was no chance of it getting by him. When you got time, that's exactly what you got to do. Do anything you can to keep the ball in front of you as a first baseman.
Certainly some catcher's instincts playing its part there.
Yep.
And with Walsh on the move, there's no chance at a double play, so there's no need to force anything. As Will Rogers is at the plate, he skies one foul.
spot.
Another breaking ball for a strike from Avery Tao. 0-2 count to Rogers.
Would not throw him a fastball in this situation. Keep going with that breaking ball. Or the changeup as well.
Rogers just gets a piece of that.
Like that changeup from Tao, especially versus a tough right-handed bat in Rogers. Let's see if he throws it again here or goes back to the breaking ball, but it'd be very surprising to me if he went with a fastball in this situation.
No need to throw a fastball when you're ahead in the count 0-2. Breaking ball, Rogers just gets a piece of it again.
There's that back footer there we're looking for.
Great, two great 0-2 pitches from Avery Tao. Really good execution, just really good job by Rogers staying in the at-bat. Oaks playing Rogers to pull. Right side of the infield is fairly open. Rogers pops up. Tough play. Schultz going back, and he can't make the play. Another in-between ball that goes the Foresters' way as the right fielder Schwartzberg couldn't come in, and it was up to Schultz, and very tough play. An angled run, not able to. He got a glove on it, but not able to make the play. 4-2 Foresters.
Very unfortunate for the Oaks. That's now 3 of the 4 runs for the Foresters coming in unusual circumstances. They scored the first run only because of a Zach Daudet error. They got the second on the pop-up that nobody was able to see, and it landed. And
That was the third run. Yep.
And now this one. They haven't really
Tough
had to
day.
earn their runs.
Tough day. And this is not a lineup that needs any help to score. But they'll take it, especially when you're facing good pitching that the Oaks have been throwing out today. 1-1 to Rocco Garza Gongora. Breaking ball in the dirt, smothered by Durfee.
That's such an underrated block from Brendan Durfee. With the left-handed breaking ball, that pitch is breaking towards his left, but usually that means once it bounces, it'll come back right. So Durfee has to smother that before it takes that gnarly hop, and he does just that, sliding to his left and keeping it in front of him.
In on the hands, stays up for Chris Wright. And that'll retire the side. Not before the Foresters tack on one more. We'll stretch here at Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks trailing 4-2. Bottom 7, Brendan Durfee leading off for the Oaks. Robert Kranz still on the mound for the Forsters. Brendan Durfee 0 for 2 today. After the first inning, we thought that maybe it could be a high-scoring day for the Oaks. 2 runs scored on 2 hits and a walk. But since the first inning, the Oaks have gotten 2 base runners, both via the base on balls. So no hits for the Oaks since the first inning. 2-1 to Durfee, outside. Kranz yet to allow a base runner.
Oh.
Check swing, foul tip, and the count runs full. Some action in the Oaks bullpen. Looks like Colby Downard. The 3-2, swung on and missed. Another strikeout today for the Forster staff. It's the 8th today. That'll bring up Dylan Jackson. Another guy in this lineup that's 0 for 2 today. Breaking ball in there. Grand's really working fast out there.
Always the sign of a pitcher that's locked in.
The 0-2, swung on and missed.
It's too bad that this is happening against the Oaks because Robert Kranz sure is a fun pitcher to watch. Sitting low 90s with his heater. Filthy breaking ball that's fooling all of the Oaks hitters. Definitely not a guy that I'd want to face out there. Oh,
Eli Paton goes after the first pitch. The loud bang will let you know that it was just over our heads.
We've had some close calls. A couple times this summer that we've thought the ball was coming for us.
The 0-1 to Peyton in the dirt.
Haven't seen the changeup that much from Kranz. Throws it there, but spikes it. Hasn't really needed to throw it. It's mostly just been fastball slider, fastball curve. Not sure. Looks like that one looks like a curve. Cam, is there different variations of his breaking ball? Have you been marked? Yeah, so it throws a slider and a curveball.
The 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2.
Once again, he tries to mix it up, go with the changeup, and both changeup he's thrown this at bat, he's spiked. But he's got the other 3 pitches working beautifully.
The 2-2 to Eli Paton. Popped up. The third baseman Lombardi calling for it, drifting a little bit to his left late, and that'll retire the side.
Again.
Robert Kranz still yet to allow a base runner. The Oaks still looking for that first hit after the first inning. At the end of 7, Oaks down 4-2. Colby Downard will be pitching the 8th. Top of the 8th, Max Bellew leading off for the Foresters. 4-2 ball game. Oaks are running out of outs. Colby Downard entering the ball game. First pitch misses away. Bellew, tough day at the plate. 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play last time up. Not possible to do so in this situation. 2-0.
Downard's only been used in high leverage situations for the Oaks. He's been one of their better relievers.
That ball's lined into right field for a base hit. Just to the right of Dylan Jackson. Leadoff man is on for the Foresters.
This entire Oaks bullpen has been pretty impressive to be in this season. Downer, definitely one of those stronger pieces.
A bunt
Oh,
by Gianni Horvat. Not a very good one, as it hung up and went foul. Stays up just a little longer. Dylan Jackson has a better chance of making a play on it. 0-1. Ground ball over to Costello at third. He goes over to Schultz for 1. Not in time to get the speedy Horvat. Fielder's choice.
Now batting third baseman number 17, Michael Lombardi.
That'll bring up Michael Lombardi. Lombardi 0 for 3 in today's ball game. Lined out to left field in the second. Rolled over to second in the fourth. Struck out in the sixth. Horvat's moving. Durfee's throw, not in time.
Horvat's got some wheels.
yep. This is third stolen base of the game.
Saw him steal at least one yesterday as well.
Horvat was tagged by Schultz in the head. Took a little bit of time to get back on his feet. Man, we're ready to resume play. The 1-0 upstairs. As far as leads off of second base go, Horvat's got a sizable one.
He's already stolen third once today. Let's see if he tries again.
2-0 is high, ball 3. Downer not willing to give in. Do his best to fight back from a 3-0 count. The pitch, in there. Would definitely not be surprised to see Horvat in motion.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if the Oaks don't keep an eye on Gianni, he's going to take off.
And there he goes, fouled off.
I'm surprised actually that he went there. For the most part, Downard's been taking one look and then coming home. So I think Horvat was expecting that in that situation, but as Downard didn't take a single look, Horvat actually did not get the best jump there. Might have been thrown out. That's why mixing up your looks on the mound is pretty key.
3-2 to Michael Lombardi. mixing up the looks again. And the 3-2 is high for ball 4.
See, the only problem with that is that it was just shown right there. Downer didn't pick up home plate before he delivered and misses upstairs.
It's one of the benefits of having a speed demon out on the base paths. Time is called by Bill Pintard. This an offensive timeout?
Yeah, I actually literally heard him exactly say offensive timeout. I don't know why it's necessary, to be honest. First and second, 1 out, up 2. If it was nobody out and they were down 2, I would understand it more. And it's also not one of those situations where he's trying to get the pitcher out of his groove because Downer hasn't really found it yet.
Words exchanged there between Brendan Durfee and Bill Pintard.
Pintard, of course, an early exiter in yesterday's contest.
Maybe he had dinner plans.
Nah, he didn't, because he stood behind the plate and watched the whole game.
Double steal, maybe even a hit and run. I would wager that was a hit and run, as it looked like Horvat had third base stolen. A massive lead for Lombardi at first, as nobody's holding him on. It's about a quarter of the way to second base. Inside move from Downard.
Just got to keep him honest over there. You can just do that every once in a while to show him that you have it in your bag. It won't allow Horvat to get off as early as he has been.
Middle infield to double play depth.
Oh,
Horvat's in motion again, and Durfee not able to squeeze it. And it's a double steal.
That time Downard was able to deliver while Horvat was still in his actual lead instead of already starting to shuffle towards third, so they might have had him at third.
The infield will come in, the 1-1.
Ooh, good pitch.
Peel to the first base umpire. No swing. Game resting in the balance here, as a base hit could really open this up. Folks having no success at the plate, and a 4-run lead is looking pretty grim, as that ball is well over Wright's head. That'll get to the wall. 2 runs score easily, as Nathan Voss takes a big turn at second, and he's got a 2-run double.
It's unfortunate for Colby Downard and the Oaks.
Really takes the air out of the atmosphere here, as a 4-run lead is looking pretty insurmountable. PK Walsh now up for the Foresters. First pitch breaking ball in there for strike 1.
That definitely took all the air out of Sparky Anderson Field.
Another breaking ball catches the outside corner, 0-2. Colby Downard looking for the strikeout. The 0-2.
Yeah, he swung. Ball's behind.
An appeal at first, and he's no swing.
Did the pitch not hit him?
I think the pitch definitely got a piece of PK Walsh. Definitely did. I thought he swung as well. If he didn't swing, if they're saying it's not a swing, then it's a hit by pitch and a dead ball.
Right.
So it's got to be one of the two. It can't be no swing and a wild pitch.
Yeah, if you wait.
He definitely went. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Conference at the mound.
Either way, it won't be a strikeout because
Walsh gets the bat back in his hand.
It's either first and second with 1 out, or yeah, that's right. First and second with 1 out, or a runner on second with 2.
Coach Solis is gonna argue again about the swing, but that's just a bad call. That's just a bad call missed. Not much they're gonna do about that. At least the run doesn't come around to score, but it'll bring up a dangerous hitter in Daniel Patterson. Just nothing going in favor of the Oaks today. Absolutely nothing.
No, it seems like just about every break has gone the way of the Foresters.
Patterson goes after the first pitch. It'll land in front of Schwartzberg. Quick throw to the plate. And the bases are juiced for Ryan Black. After that call, that was the second consecutive inning where PK Walsh reached via the hit by pitch. The third time the number 9 hitter has reached base safely for the Foresters. But the action is at the plate. Bases loaded for Ryan Black, looking to break this game open for the Foresters. Goes after the first pitch. Out of play for strike 1.
Of course, the Voss double certainly opened up this game, but an extra base hit here would probably put it out of reach.
Ryan Black looking to put that final nail in the coffin. Rolls over, foul. Good play out of the Foresters dugout. One got up, barehanded play. Oh-2. Downer in desperate need of a strikeout here. With the speed of Black, definitely not guaranteed a double play. If the ball is on the ground, it would have to be hit pretty hard right at one of the middle infielders.
They got the corners playing in, and the middle infielders were playing halfway, but once the count went to 0-2, they backed up just a little bit.
Downwards 0-2.
Oh,
Gets past Durfee all the way to the backstop. And Voss will score. 7-2 Foresters. That also eliminates the double play possibility and really gives Black a better chance to reach base here as the infield is forced to come in. 1-2 the count to Ryan Black. Fouled back to the netting. You can hear a pin drop in this place right about now.
yeah, that double from Voss really lowered the crowd's enthusiasm as well as the dugout.
It's a fly ball to Schwartzberg and Wright. Walsh is tagging. The throw is to third. Everybody safe. Another run scores. A sacrifice fly for Ryan Black. And it's an 8-2 ball game.
Now batting number 7, designated hitter, Will Rogers.
That'll bring up Will Rogers. Doubled his last time up to drive in PK Walsh. Fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. 4 runs this inning for the Foresters.
Good pitch.
Breaking ball in there for strike 2. The 0-2 from Colby Downard. In the dirt, blocked by Brendan Durfee.
It's good to see Durf still working that hard after seeing this lead keep extending for the Foresters. Durfee hasn't stopped the way that he plays behind the plate, blocking everything.
1-2. High. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is hammered foul. Rogers well out in front of that breaking ball. Another big carom as the foul ball is in play. Alexander Rivas going to retrieve it.
Double duty today for Rivas. Starting pitcher and ball boy.
2-2 to Will Rogers. Breaking ball in the dirt.
Good for Rivas, though. Still staying locked in on the game. He's been out of the game for 5 innings, and he's the first one up, going down the line to get that foul ball.
Full count to Will Rogers.
Nice.
Swung on and missed. And the inning mercifully ends, but not before the Foresters put up a 4 spot here in the top of the 8th to extend their lead to 8-2. Taylor Schultz leading off the inning for the Oaks. Counts 1-1. New pitcher for the Forcers, number 32, Mason Coach.
Ooh.
Schultz hit by that pitch. And the Oaks get their first base runner since the third inning. Obviously, you will take them any way you can get them right now. Down 6. Chances are grim. Hope is all but lost here at Sparky Anderson Field. Schwartzberg now up for the Oaks. 0 for 2 today, walked in the first, came around to score. Struck out in both the third and the fifth inning. Fouls that one back, and it's 1-1. Breaking ball misses upstairs. Ball 2. Two 1 to Schwartzberg. Outside, ball 3. Three-1 to Schwartzberg. Taylor made 6-4. Not in time. Forcers record 1 out. Not the quickest of turns in the middle infield by Gianni Horvat.
I think he just thought he had more time than he actually did. It's good for Schwartzberg, though, just putting his head down. Still going as hard as he can down the line, even in an 8-2 ball game.
I'd argue that an 8-2 ball game is the time you have to go hard, Joshua.
I agree, but it's also the time that we see players take
Another
easy.
double play ball opportunity. Horvat bobbles it, makes 2 mistakes. Can argue that's an error on the bobble and on the throw. Of course, he will only get credit for 1. But the Oaks now have a golden opportunity to cut this lead down as Jack Costello comes up with 2 runners in scoring position. Horvat on that play immediately went to flip the ball to Black at second base before he had the ball even in his glove, which caused the bobble. Then the subsequent panic with the speed of McCabe Moyer caused the bad throw.
Just a situation where his brain was moving faster than his body.
Costello is 0 for 2 today. Walked back in the third inning. Of course, with only 2 hits for the Oaks today, there's going to be a lot of offers in the lineup. Breaking ball misses outside, 2-0.
Looked like a cross up there. So the catcher Voss is going to go out to the mound, get on the same page as his pitcher.
The only 2 hits today came all the way back in the first inning. McCabe Moyer, a double, and a Chris Wright single. 2 hits today for the Conejo Oaks. 2 out of Costello. Comebacker to the pitcher coach for out number 2. And it'll be up to Chris Wright to try and drive a couple runs in.
Now batting, left fielder, number 32, Rivas.
Wright drove in a run back in the first inning on a check swing infield single. He was up in this exact situation. Just second and third, 1 out, not second and third, 2.
The 0-1 fouled back and Wright's in an 0-2 hole. Coach really taking his time. Comes home. Hard hit baseball to the first baseman Patterson. He'll take it himself. And that is 7 consecutive hitless innings dealt by the Foresters pitching staff. 9th, Oaks trailing 8-2. Top of the 9th, Kobe Downard still out there for the Oaks. Rocco Garza Gongora up for the Foresters.
No need for the Oaks to burn one of their other arms in an 8-2 ball game.
Spoke too soon, Joshua
It
boy.
looks like Brett Edwards is up just in case this inning gets away from Downard. 2-1 count. Breaking ball's in there for strike 2. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Drop third strike. Durfee will have to throw over to first to complete the strikeout.
Wish we got
Definitely
velocity
threw
on
that
Durfee.
with some authority. Certainly today's frustrations playing a part in that. Max Bellew now up for the Foresters. Breaking ball in there. Oh, 1. 1-1. Once again, the silence is deafening here at Sparky Anderson Field.
You could clearly hear all of the cleat marks from Scott Radinsky running back to the dugout.
2-1 Bellew.
Poor fathers that spent their Father's Day out here. At least they got to watch some baseball, but
For free.
oh yeah, free baseball. So actually maybe not poor fathers, although they're gonna have some unhappy children today. Hopefully tonight's Father's Day plans overshadow a tough day at the ballpark.
3-1. Lined into center field. Moyer is there for out number 2.
Now batting, second baseman number 2,
Gianni Horvat. 4 stolen bases in today's ball game. Each time he got on, swiped 2 bags, while being 0 for 3. 0 for 3 with 4 stolen bases. Pretty impressive stuff. Of course, he was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. Came to run to score. And in the 8th, reached on a fielder's choice. Stole 2 bases and came around to score. He fouls one out of play, and the count is now 1-2.
Horvat just does whatever he can to help his team win. Even if he's not having his best day at the plate, when he gets on, he's ready to run.
The 1-2. Just low. 2-2.
Perfect spot with that changeup. Horvat was able to take it with relative ease, surprisingly.
Downwards 2-2. Off the end of the bat, Schultz is going to have to hurry and makes the play to retire the side. 3 more outs for the Conejo Oaks to work with. In order to extend this ball game, they'll have to score 6 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Last chance. Here in the bottom of the ninth, Zach Daudet leading off for the Oaks. New pitcher for the Foresters is Zach Erdman. He is another lengthy lefty out of Texas Tech. Popped up. Garza Gongora is there for out number 1. We'll bring up Brendan Durfee. With the exception of 2 hitters in the Oaks lineup, everyone else is over. It's a tough day. 2 days in a row.
Oh, no.
Breaking ball is in there for strike 1. Off the end of the bat, Lombardi is there. And the Oaks down to their final out. First pitch to Dylan Jackson is in the dirt. The 1-0. Fouled back. One and 1 to Dylan Jackson. And the Oaks are down to their final strike. The 1-2 over to Horvat, and that should do it. That's the ball game. Oaks lose a tough one. 8-2 your final score. 8 no-hit innings after the first. For all of us here with the Oaks broadcast team, Cameron Deck, Austin Gregory, Josh Mechanick, I'm Sammy Holladay. We'd also like to thank our sponsors one last time, Amateur Baseball Development Group, founded by Mike Sosha, Randy Riley, Kevin Muno, and Amy Ashford, doing the majority of the funding for the Conejo Oaks, along with the official hat sponsor of the California Collegiate League and the Conejo Oaks, Richardson Sports. We got a day off tomorrow, and Tuesday we will be in Orange County against the Riptide. Once again, for Austin Gregory, Josh Mechanick, Cameron Dex, I'm Sammy Holladay. We will see you guys